being registered. Kia ora. Welcome to SM News. I'm Tom Tucker.
And I'm Diane Sinnams. Today's story is the new crime wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented the invisibility cloak. We help them find it. And in the latest weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house, and before you think they may have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky abode was built as a tourist attraction, as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 22 feet tall and rests on its roof, and has steel beams in the attic. Inside the house, there are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom. Though it's not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it, or go to the toilet. Normally a house like this would take 3 weeks to build. This one took over 4 months because workers kept getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of the feeling sick and dizzy after just a few minutes inside. We now cross over to our reporter, Lisa, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Lisa?
Thanks, Tom. I'm here with the owner of the house, Olivia, and I'm feeling quite sick. So what made you decide to build this house anyway?
Well, we really like to be different, and also it's a great design.
What comment do you feel the house brings on the state of the world at the moment?
Be yourself, and it doesn't matter where you are, where you live, it's what you like.
What are some of the challenges you faced when building this house?
Well, keeping everything on the ceiling was a wee bit tricky, so we had to use super glue.
Do you hope to live in a normal house one day?
No, I think we'll stick with this one.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Lisa from S.M.T.V News. Back to you, Diane.
Thanks, Lisa. Even watching that makes me feel weird. And now for a story that's truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak, which can hide objects by blending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled by using special tiny crystals that make objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects, such as coins, disappear. But I hope it won't be long before they can be hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible, one top scientist says. The possibilities are endless, and we are very excited. However, inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears, the inventor of the cloak said. It appears they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak, here is our reporter Brian with more of this story.
Hello, I'm Brian, and with me here today is Ashton and Arwen, the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi, thank you for being here. Arwen, what made you want to make an invisibility cloak?
Well, Brian, I'm very glad you asked me that. Me, Ashton and Mr. Bowie here are in fact huge Harry Potter fans. In fact, we're the #1 fans of Harry Potter. So we knew that sometime in the near future we would have to build one.
Thank you. Ashton, could you please show me how this invisibility cloak works?
Yes, you just hold it over your body, and whatever's covered, or the object, and whatever's covered by the coat will be invisible.
Awesome. Owen, what do you hope the purpose of this will be into the future?
Well, us geniuses, we're always inventing stuff. So this cloak is perfect to keep it covered so our stuff won't be stolen by robbers. Evil robbers. Watch out!
Cool. Ashton, I was right. How long did it take you to make this cloak?
About 10 years of just putting together materials just to get it perfect.
Awesome. So, well, that's it for today. Thanks for being with us today, but we're out of time, so back to you, Tom, in the studio.
Thanks, Brian. And now, how's this for an interesting yarn? A new move of graffiti crime is covering the country, thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wool-waving criminals are covering the branches and lampposts with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say the knitted activities of the gang are illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of woolen graffiti is growing, and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is growing, police say. They warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be warmly dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. They're a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We're stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said yesterday. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both the public and the police. We now go to a secret location with our investigative reporter, Wayne, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Tom. I'm Wayne, and joining me in this top secret location is members of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Felipe and Uffa, and thanks for joining us. So, what led you into the dark underworld of knitted graffiti?
Well, we really like knitting and we wanted to fit in with our bad friends, so we decided this was the way to go.
Okay, so, do you see yourselves as criminals? Why or why not?
Yes, because it's still vandalising other people's property.
Right. So, apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolens?
Well, people's houses, the ones that we don't like.
Okay, so do you enjoy vandalising other properties, and if so, why?
Yes, because it brings us closer to our mates, and it makes us look cool.
I think you pretty much said it there.
Okay, thanks for your time, Felipe, Uffa, of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go back to Sophie with the weather update.
Thank you, Wayne, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather, starting in the far north in Kaitaia. Look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there will be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions, but those are the conditions and you'll just have to accept them. There will be no weather at all for the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but is expected to be back for the weekend. In the Napier and the Hastings, the weather will sometimes be changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there. In the Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day with no highlights at all. It'll be an overcast and gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all, and the day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim, and reading the newspapers. But try to stay indoors, as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfall, some sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms, and a sum of very angry snow. And in the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning, when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. Now it's back to the news desk with Tom and Diane.
Thanks, Phoebe. Well, that's all we have time for.
We hope that you've enjoyed this evening's broadcast. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Until then, I'm Diane Sinnams.
And I'm Tom Drucker.
Good night and good night.
Ladies and gentlemen. Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1.